Hey guys, on this episode of Bull and Sound Productions, I wanted to show you guys how to use the different ways of using distorted bass in a song to create more energy in your mixes, and also how to do that. So real quick, I wanted to show you guys this solo section of this song, and basically this is the bass without going into the split high and low bass, and I'll explain what I mean by that in just a sec. Okay, so there we go. We have our section right there. And, the part's pretty cool. It's pretty rockin'. It's kind of lacking energy coming out of the previous section. I'll show you what I mean.
Thinking somehow maybe, baby, you'll come through. Like a fool, like a fool, I still believe in you.
Okay, so the rhythm kind of drops out right there. It's still there. It's just a lot thinner than it was before. It's just not as full. It doesn't keep the energy the way I'd like to hear it in a mix. So what I've done is I've duplicated my bass track here 2 more times, and I'm going to mute this one. And basically what I've done is creating a bass high and bass low. And what I mean by that is I've created a crossover. So I've done a low cut here on the bass high, and on the bass low I have a high cut. So it's basically like a high pass low pass filter. And I also ducked a little bit of around like 150 right here, which is getting a little woofy. And so basically it creates this sound. And then I also added JST Menace, this Tone Forge Menace, which is freaking awesome. It's actually a guitar amp sim, but I love running my bass through it to get that distorted sound. This is how I get my distorted sounds, and I usually just go straight to this setup. I just love how it sounds. So here's the high bass just by itself, and when I say that, I mean it's just 225 hertz and up. And here's with the low bass with it. So the reason I'm doing the high pass and low pass filter is because I don't want all this distortion that Menace is creating on my low end. I want really clean low subs without any distortion. So it's really smooth like that, and I love it. Here's something else though that I noticed that you could run into problems with, whether you're doing crossovers with your bass or not, is the fact that in this section the bass got a little woofy on certain notes. It was mainly on this descending part right here. Another cool part about Menace I wanted to show you guys real fast is this mic selection here. So I already went through and tested all these different mic setups, but I liked the 421 the best, so I'm using that for this particular song. Some songs have different tones or like timbres, so the different mics will make a big difference on the overall punch or like dirty or grittiness that you want from your distorted bass. So here's the descending part. So on that second and third notes there were some woofiness here, and I threw on this multi-band compression to kind of tame that. And it was around the 150 hertz region. So here it is without the multi-band compression. right there. It just got a little bit too intense. Right there. So just think if you had that kind of bass going on throughout an entire track, it would get, you know, a little bit messy, and we don't want that. So to tame that, I have this multi-band compression going on, and here it is with the multi-band compression on, taming it. Awesome. So it's really taming those runaway frequencies, those random weird sonic boomy frequencies in that 150 hertz range, so that it's a very smooth section so that we can concentrate on this awesome solo being played right here. Awesome. Okay, so here's another song that really needed it in that solo section as well. And also I wanted to show you guys how I group the high and low bass if you guys don't know how to use groups. So in Pro Tools you hit Command G. That'll open up your create group. And a quick way to find the track that you're trying to highlight is to highlight them. Or else you're going to be running through the entire session trying to find those tracks. So the easiest way to do it is do that, Command G. They're in your group right there. Title your group. And now these will control all the same buttons that we're trying to do. Okay, awesome. So here's another section that I felt like it really needed this. So let's hear it without the distorted bass on there. Okay, so it's alright. Now here it is with the distorted bass. We'll give it a little pre-roll so you guys can hear what this sounds like. So on this particular song, I'm using the PSA SansAmp for this distorted tone. I didn't want it to be as intense as Menace on here, and I also didn't have Menace when I was doing this song. So here's my settings to get that sound. So a lot of people really like this SansAmp when using distorted bass, and I'm doing the crossover once again. On this song I have it at 275 hertz on my crossover. You'll find that certain songs need different crossovers at certain places, sometimes because of maybe the key of the song, or you'll find that sweet spot. And I encourage you to kind of mess around with it. It should be anywhere between maybe like 225 hertz to 300 hertz, and find that sweet spot and then go with it from there. And yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and definitely leave me a comment if you like this video. Thanks, guys.